I am the least likely person that thought was gonna share. I'm not gonna lie. Our friendship was kind of like, I don't want to say forced, but he just came into my life. He was my husband's friend. He came, when my kids were little, when my son was actually shorter than him, which is really hard, right? I was the mean older friend, even though he was older than me, very much older than me. And I would give him a hard time all the time. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, when he would slack off a little bit, I'm like, how am I telling him, giving him a hard time, right? And I would feel bad about it. But unlike all the other women, like you said, that he was like, a lover and everything. I had cooties, right? Because when he would come over, he would wait outside till my husband came home, and I was like, "Bro, what is the problem with me?" He's like, "No, he's just a gentleman. The men aren't home. He would wait outside for the men to show up." I never had a friend that was like that. We've been married for 17 years. We got married when we were 18, and we were his older friends, even though we were the youngest couple. So he would always ask us questions about adult stuff, and I'm like, oh no, like you already know that. Why are you asking me? He's like, yeah, but man, you got it down. You know what you're doing. So as his, younger older friend, I was having a hard time when he told me, even though I know it affected him more than it affected me. And that night we went to bed. He couldn't go to sleep. He had to work the next day. And he brought up a story that I totally forgot about, and now I will never forget. We went to go hang out at a friend's house, and I sent him a picture. I'm like, look at your friend. He's being a weirdo. He's sitting outside waiting for you guys. And we're inside cooking, waiting, right? Go sit down. We're about to have dinner. I'm sitting right in front of him, and our friend Devin's on the other side of him. Out of nowhere, Bill just slaps him in the face. And I started laughing. I couldn't help it. I was like, oh my God, his glasses fell off. It was so dramatic. And he's like, there was a bug on your face. But Devin's face was surprised, like, he didn't even react or nothing. And Bill's hands are so big. I'm like, that poor kid. And instead of being like, oh my God, are you okay? I was laughing so hard. And Bill was just like, it was huge. Like, he was looking forward to show him, like, it was so big. And from now on, you know, every time I think about him, I will be happy instead of sad, because that was just the best story ever. And out of all my friendships, that is the one thing that he was a great friend, and he made us feel like family. He was like your brother, and he was really good at the gym. He worked out with my son and with my husband, and I appreciate the the advice that he did give them, because it'll stick with them for the rest of their life. And when we walked in, my son said, he's like, his name was William? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Because, he's Bill. It's Bill. It's just Billy the Kid, like they call him. So thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Hi everyone, my name's Akira. I'm so sorry. Bill is my uncle. As a lot of people in the family know, death has always been difficult for me. But this time it's different. Grieving someone who was there for all 19 years of my life has been one of the hardest things I've had to do. My uncle Bill was one of my biggest supporters in everything I did. He donated to every cheerleading fundraiser when I was in high school. And when I graduated, he even offered to help my parents pay for me to go to cosmetology school. He supported me in every little thing, and I'll forever be grateful for all he did for me. Every time I saw him, it was always, hey kiddo, with a smile and a big hug to go with it. After he moved to Nevada, I didn't get to see him as often as I used to, so those hey kiddos meant more and more as time went by. The best news was Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill will be there when it was time for the Bynum get-togethers. We have such a funny family, but he knew how to make us laugh the hardest. He entertained us with his crazy stories about his life outside of our little town. When he was away, he'd call and text with small life updates or send funny posts that he saw on Facebook. My Uncle Bill was a family man. He loved our family so much, and we all knew it. He showed me unconditional love for almost 20 years. And that's one of the many things that I'll miss now that he's gone. Now only being able to tell stories about him and reminisce on the fun and loving times instead of being able to experience new ones. He loved everyone and considered most people family, whether they were blood or not. He was really close with my mom, so I was blessed to be able to create the unbreakable bond that we had. I'm very close with all my uncles, so knowing that one of them is gone now is an indescribable pain that I've not experienced before. There are days where I just like hide away and cry and wonder why this had happened, why now, and why this way, why my uncle. Questions that I'll forever have, but will forever be unanswered. There's no moving on from my uncle's passing. There's no replacing his beautiful blue eyes, his ridiculously loud laugh, his big tight hugs, and his hilarious jokes. There's no replacing the sweet soul that was my Uncle Bill. There were times where he would come from Nevada all the way to Aberdeen to have coffee with my mom and take me and my little brother on motorcycle rides. Riding a motorcycle with him was always my favorite. We listened to his weird music and and laugh as we rode through the open roads in Aberdeen. Then we'd go back to my house and I'd sit there with my mom listening to the stories of his wildlife. The worst part about him coming to visit was having to say goodbye at the end, and even though we knew he'd be back soon for the holidays or birthdays. But no one knew that the last time we all said goodbye to him as a family was forever going to be our final goodbye to him. Not a single person was prepared for the news we received about the tragic event that happened on August 9th. Not a single person was ready to say goodbye. And not a single person was ready to attend his funeral with me. Thank you to everyone who made time to come and mourn my uncle with the rest of us. Uncle Bill, though I've lost you, you'll never lose me. Thank you. Thank you for loving me and letting me love you for almost 20 years. You were always great to me, and the time we got to spend together while you were here will never be forgotten. I'll never forget the memories we made together, big or small. This isn't goodbye. This is just see you later. This is just see you later. And from your favorite kiddo, I'll love and miss you forever, Uncle Bill. I'll see you later. Thank you.
Not enough fishing stories, so I gotta tell you one. I was out with Preston and Ty and Bill and me. Bill and Steve probably a little bit too taught me how to tie a hook, bait a hook, and tie a fishing knot and do all the things. We were out fishing one time at kind of a deep pond where you had to kind of cast pretty about 10 feet down. And one thing about Bill is, yes, he loved to fish, but more importantly, he cared about having a good time. That's what he wanted to do. So we were fishing for a minute, not too long, and pretty quickly thereafter, Ty lost interest and didn't want to fish anymore. So Bill decided to go with Ty to go just catch some snakes and some tadpoles and have fun, while Preston and I just kind of sat over the ledge and kept fishing. A little while passes by, and they come back without Preston or I knowing. Bill, knowing Ty's tendencies as well as my squeamishness with animals, told him to come up to me and show me what they had found. Yeah, you can imagine what happens next. I stand up. Ty, about this close to my face, has a water snake right in front of me. So I take a step back and go right into the pond. Soaked from here, saying, "Bill, get me out." He didn't get me out. He was on the floor laughing about how funny this scenario was and how he set it up. Preston had to dig me out of the whole thing, so that was great. So Bill loved to fish, but he more importantly cared about his kids, cared about those that were around him, and wanted to have a good time. We love you, Bill.